Welcome back, humble traders. Today I'll be doing a technical breakdown of Palantir, ticker symbol PLTR. If you are new to the channel, remember to take a second to give the video a like and subscribe for more charting and price manipulations. Before we begin, do note that I'm just a humble chartist and I do not provide any buy or sell calls. Instead, I focus on the potential traps laid out by the market makers. Always remember that the stock market is never obvious. It is designed to fool most of the people most of the time. So without further ado, let's go into Palantir. I know that many people, many investors in particular, will hate me for making this video, but I'll just tell what the chart tells me. So you can see that Palantir had a very good uptrend, and then we kind of pushed sideways a bit, and there was huge volatility on the sideways trend. In fact, there was a lot of traders in, out, in, out. You can see that the MACD was looking good until it started to snap at this area. You can see that then the downtrend started to continue quite hard. So if you look at where are the potentials manipulations going on, if you look back in time somewhere in about September 2021, you can see that we did have a fake breakout here. So we cleared this resistance convincingly. In fact, there was good volume, but somehow we didn't have the bullish continuation. So that means that sellers are actually on the verge of getting out. So what does a fake breakout means? Fake breakout means you want to lure breakout traders to come in to take the long, but then thereafter slowly the price came down. So similar to my subscriber count, if let's say the resistance is 70 and currently now I'm 71, I can always fall back to 68 or 69. So what are you guys waiting for? Help me clear this 70 resistance with good volume. Okay, anyways, okay. So what's next? We need to understand about how does the market actually works. So we must always remember that in every market, there's always this thing called the market makers. So these market makers are actually the big financial institutions. We can just call them MM. Likewise, on the other hand, we have this thing called retail investors or small investors like us. So if the market makers are buying, that means that those retail investors are likely to be selling. And likewise, if the market makers are selling, that means retail investors are buying. So you can see that PLTR, Palantir have a lot of retail trying to hype up the stock. So that's why it's constantly falling. In fact, I was looking at this support right here at about, you can see that there was some support here at about $16, $17. But the fact that we did not hold at these levels here, it shows that the sellers are genuine. If the sellers are genuine, right, that means it's time to actually get out. So everyone's very optimistic about this stock, says it can go to about $100 or $200, which is I feel is quite ridiculous. In the short term, that wouldn't happen. And if you're a long-term investor, obviously you want to buy low. So if too many people are optimistic about the stock and they keep buying, and when everyone thinks alike, actually there isn't much thinking taking place. So you need to get out when you can, not get out when you have to. So when there's no double bottom, it means that the sellers are very persistent and the downtrend persists. So currently, on a downtrend, what do I actually expect? On a downtrend, usually there's very difficult to reverse because the trend, it is very difficult to go against the trend. So on downtrends, you can see that there are rebounds here. There are also some rebounds here. And currently, we do not have a rebound. So if the rebound is weak, that means the sellers are very strong. Sellers are in control. Try not to go against them. But of course, we can expect short-term rebounds and also hit and runs. What does hit and runs actually mean? So let's say the psychological support is at $10. So many people are putting their stop losses at 980 and also perhaps 990, 970. So you can see that just a few days ago, many people perhaps got stopped out, and then you can see a very strong bullish engulfing candle. But even with this bullish engulfing candle, you can see that there was no follow through. You see that there was this red candle appearing, showing that sellers are equally big as the buyers. That means it's not really a good sign. The stock is still downtrending. Sellers are still around. So if you ask me, what exactly are the potential resistance and supports upcoming, I would say that I do not expect much. We probably can only go to a maximum about 1320 to 1360 to actually close this gap here. And thereafter, we'll continue with the downtrend. Because it's very important that on downtrend, you wait for accumulation. So long as there's no accumulation, so long as the buyers are not back, then the trend would unlikely to reverse. So if you see here that if you look closely back in time, where are the potential supports? You can see that Palantir looks like it's going to reset everything because it's going back to the original price that it started. Somewhere here, about $9. The low was about, if I'm not wrong, was $8.90. So if the low was 890, many people will be highly likely, and $9 is a psychological support. So many people will be highly likely to be putting their stop losses at about 880 here, or somewhere between 880 to 860. So in the event that many people got stop loss out there, then we can potentially see a rebound. But in the event that too many people are still buying, then very high chance we may go to $5. If we break down and continue going to $5 and people are still buying, then that means the market makers have no choice but to sell to them and continue selling. And worst case scenario, it may even go to $1 to $2. So I will never underestimate the strength of the trend. We should never fight the trend. Respect it, follow it, and never go against it. So that being said, I feel that how do you actually look at when the buyers may potentially come back? If you look at the daily MACD, the daily MACD tells us that potentially there may be some accumulation. So if the blue line stays above the orange line, that means we are on an uptrend like this. But once it cuts the orange line from above, it's time to get out. So you can see that here it's time to get out. And the fluctuations is still here. It's very confusing. So what do I recommend is to look at the weekly MACD, because the weekly MACD there's less fluctuations, it's less confusing. So it's pretty much more accurate. So you can see that the MACD actually cut here, the weekly MACD, it failed to go up. And thereafter, it continued to slide. So the histogram, it seems that it's turning white, but it needs to be more persistent. So long as this blue line does not go above this orange line, that means buyers are not bad. That means they have not accumulated enough. And if there's no accumulation like you see in this point, there's no incentive for buyers to push up price until the majority of the investors, the retail investors have given up hope and sold their positions or get stop loss out. Then we may potentially see a reversal in this Palantir. So that being said, I'm looking at around 860 to 890 to see if anybody got stop loss out. And in the event that nobody, the sellers are still genuine with heavy volume, then we're likely heading to $5. After $5, if investors have still not given up hope, then we may potentially see $1 to $2 for this particular counter. And if there's any changes, I'll give you guys an update. Thanks for stopping by, and don't forget to subscribe as you keep the uptrend of channel intact. Leave in the comment section below on your thoughts on this particular stock, or if you have any other stock TA requests. Till we meet again, appreciate the manipulation.